Need to record. And we- Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Hey, everyone. Okay, great. Thanks for joining. I'll quickly talk about our nonprofit and then hand it over to you, ma'am. So, as you know, Monali, ma'am, we've been working with you. 50s Nifty, it's a nonprofit initiative where people more than 50 years, I mean, about 45 plus professionals, they come together to mentor, guide, and empower the next generation, our students and younger generation. Um, so we have partnered with our college. I mean, I'm one of the alumni. We have provided sessions on career and personal development. Some of the past sessions, if you remember, we had Raghu, Dania, Samir Dania, Matthew, Christy, and other folks who had joined earlier. Currently, we are running 4 active internships with the college, and there are 6 students who are currently participating. So students, I think a lot of you are in this session. You can join in this nonprofit work, but through actually college coordination. So like I said, we still have more internships, projects, etc. Your selection would be based on interest and commitment and not on toppers. So we right now we're not just saying, hey, only the toppers would be joining the internships, etc. But through Monali ma'am and college coordination, you can join these internships. And we do have some future batches planned. I quickly again want to thank Monali ma'am and the college for continuously working with us and giving the opportunity. And then, of course, we look forward to continue doing this and more sessions. Hopefully, these sessions help you, college students, ma'am, Monali ma'am, if you can continue providing the feedback and also work with us and the students so that we can continue doing this. So thanks again. I will stop share and maybe Monali ma'am, you can share your screen.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I will try to share, or it is possible at your end.
Sorry, what am I
Just
sharing then?
that image, whatever you have sent it to me, poster dot.
I think, Geeta, do you have your maybe LinkedIn profile or an image of yours
Otherwise,
you
I
can
will
share?
not able to.
Or Karobi or someone can share Geeta's
Yeah, sure, I can.
image? Okay. Or let me see if I have.
Sir, I'm trying it, but again, I will not able to join, I guess. I have joined mobile because due to
So
the
you can
connection
just start.
problem.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can just start
I
talking about Geeta. So that
yes,
I
yes.
mean I
He
think
has
that's fine.
displayed the poster. Yes.
Good.
So
Okay,
I
sure.
will start. Yes. So hello students and Vijay sir and both the ma'ams for joining this session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our distinct speaker here, that is Geeta ma'am, which is our alumni also. So she is having over 25 years of experience in global industry and the consultancy, and she has worked across India, the Middle East, and the Africa. She is a founder and strategic advisor at the GBL International, where she helps transform businesses and individuals to scale and grow through the systems thinking, digital transformation, and AI enabled strategy. She is also a leadership coach, mentor, and best-selling author of Consistency, The Key to Your Growth and Transformation. Currently, she is writing her second book on modern leadership in the AI era. She is passionate about bridging the gap between the academic learning and real world careers. Today, she will have or sharing practical frameworks for building successful careers in both local and global job markets in the era of AI. So I welcome Geeta ma'am for this wonderful session, and I request Geeta ma'am to start the session. Yes, ma'am, over to you.
Thank you so much. Good evening,
Yes, yes.
everyone. And thank you to all our seniors and college members who have made this possible. So I hope am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Maybe Anjana, you can start sharing. Yeah. So welcome to Finding Jobs, Local and Global Opportunities. This is a career guidance webinar for 2026, and I'm genuinely happy to be here with you today. Before we get started, quick housekeeping note. This session is going to be really interactive. We have 2 live polls so keep your phones handy. We'll also use the chat anytime. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat and we will take it at the end. All right, let's begin. So let me tell you why I'm here. As you already, Vijay sir mentioned, we have spent quite a lot of time mm, after we have left the college. And I was at your about 3 decades ago. I was exactly sitting where you all are today, students. Studied and came out of the engineering college. I was uncertain. I was anxious. There was no LinkedIn, no internet, no online job portal, just few companies out there, just newspaper and paper CVs, and but lot of hope. So fast forward today, I mean, I have led multi-million dollar data transformations across 20 countries, helped organizations make significant revenue, and also through digital transformation and analytics, have disrupted the organizations. I've also written a book, as Monali ma'am already said. I'm now standing here today because you deserve the roadmap that we never had. Our people or your seniors did not have. So this session is not at all theory. It is based on what worked for me and what is working for the students right now in 2026. The fundamentals have not changed, but the methods, the tools, and the expectations have. So stay with me because I'm about to share and can help approach your career with clarity, confidence, and direction. Now, I did not come here with the guesswork that what you need. Before this session, we did a survey and more than 50 of your batchmates, I reviewed the survey of more than 50 of the batchmates, final year and third year KKWOK students. And you can see some of the results on the screen. And type yes in the chat if any of what I'm going to say applies to you. 64% of the people who answered the survey felt confused about their career direction. 66% feel they lack practical experience. 70% want off-campus opportunities but don't know where to start. 55% are anxious about interviews and communication skills. I don't see any engagement in the chat window. Please type yes if you think that this resonates with you. Okay. On an average, each of you listed 3.4 concerns out of the points that we had asked you. And let me be clear. your anxiety is valid and you're not imagining it. But here is the good news. Every single concern you have is solvable, and today we are solving them together. So here is our roadmap for the next 45 minutes. I'm going to keep us moving. So grab a pen if you already have. First of all, what industry really wants beyond your CGPA. Second, we will solve career confusion with the 3-path model. Third is a proven 5-step campus system, actionable. You can start taking action tomorrow. Fourth is local versus global opportunities, how to choose and what is required. And finally, how AI can 10x your job search process in 2026. That's the benefit you have today. Take advantage of it. So, and as I mentioned, we will be doing 2 live polls, and drop a thumbs up in the chat if you're ready to go. And I need you to hear this clearly. Let's start. Start with the hard truth. Your CGPA may help you get shortlisted. It does not get you the job. Across industries, technology, analytics, consulting, operation, this is what employees actually evaluate once the interview begins. So can you think through an unfamiliar, messy, real world problem? That's what they might ask you. Or they don't want textbook answers, they want structured thinking. They want clear communication, practical examples, and can you explain your thinking clearly so that even the layman, a manager, a client, or a business owner can understand what you're talking. Being engineers, we know that we're very technical minded when we start with, but we need to be able to translate that into a layman's language, and that's what they look. Then of course learning agility, how quickly you can pick up new technologies. And you all know today things are moving at an unprecedented pace. Things are changing very quickly. So can you catch up with that? So what matters is not what you know today, but how fast you can learn tomorrow. So that is very important. Then of course ownership. When something does not go as planned, do you take responsibility, or do you blame the tools, the system, or the team and the people around you? This is what they look. Then of course every company has got its own culture, so they also check that can you work well with others in this particular environment. Are you open to feedback? Are you coachable? Everyone have their own style, so they will try to assess whether you fit into that culture. So that's also looked at when you are on an interview table. These factors consistently matter more than marks once you are on the interview room. And the good news is every one of these skills can be developed regardless of your CGPA. That's the good news. It's just that you need to take some action. You need to find your mentors and get guidance as to what you need to do. And did you notice something? What is not on this list? What employers are looking for? What is not on this list? Your college name is not on this list. Your CGPA is not on this. Your exam marks are not on this list. So remember that your transcripts, your CVs, they let you to maybe open doors and get you onto the interview table. But the skills is what keep you in the room. So remember that. So let me pull back the curtain even more. What the industry hiring managers or industry HR managers, when they review resumes, including me, okay, I've also reviewed many resumes, and here is the truth. 10 seconds That's how long your resume gets. In that 10 seconds, I'm scanning three things. One is clear results. Did you describe task or did you show your impact? Like, led a team means nothing. It's just task. But led a team, like led a 5% team to reduce deployment time by 40%. Now you have my attention. So do your skills match what I need? Then just because you go for an interview and you're not selected doesn't mean you're not good enough. It's just that probably your skills don't match what they're looking for. So clear formatting is another thing you have to be very clear about. If your resume is cluttered, there are spelling mistakes, then comes the it I will assume you work also in a cluttered manner. So then comes the interview. In the interview, I'm testing. Can you structure your thoughts? We will be covering the STAR framework in a bit. Can you handle pressure? I will ask you difficult questions, not to trick you, but to see how you can think on your feet. Okay? And whether you ask me questions, the best candidates interview me. And for you to be able to interview me and ask questions, you should have done enough research before you come to that interview. So the bottom line is hiring managers, they look for evidence you can do the job. Your job is to provide that evidence. And that is where this whole journey starts. Okay. Now, quick question for the chat. How many of you are relying only on campus placement? Type 1 if yes, and type 2 if you're exploring off campus. And I need engagement and interaction. Then only I know whether whatever I'm saying is reaching you guys. We have about 24 people in the room, so at least 20 students. Okay, the feedback is coming in slowly, but I want every one of you to participate. Okay, I'm seeing a mix of both 1 and 2, but here is the reality check. Campus placements, good, convenient, structured, safety net. The cons is that limited options. Maybe 10 or 20 companies will come in. High competition with all the 4,000 students competing, average packages. Off campus, you have unlimited opportunities. And with all the technology, the world is really shrinking. Higher packages, often 30 to 50% more, skill-based selection. So the cons of this, of course, is that you need a system. Any issues? Am I audible? Yeah? Okay. You need a system, higher effort, risk of scams. We will cover all these red flags later. Okay. My recommendation, prepare for both. Use campus as your baseline. Use off campus for your growth lever. 70% of you in your survey said you want off campus guidance. And let's build that system together. When I say system, what I mean is there's a systematic, disciplined, structured process that you need to follow. Okay? So your concerns are valid. Okay. Let's address what many of you are feeling right now. Type in the chat, what is your biggest career worry? Just one word. Confused, anxious, interviews, direction, experience. Just one word. Can you type something in the chat about how your biggest worry of starting your career? I need interaction. I really need interaction from you guys. Okay, Purva. Yes, thank you. Thank you for participating. It helps me at least know. So good experience interviews. 64% of you feel confused about career direction, and 66% feel you lack experience. I want you to know that your concerns are valid and not imagining it. But here is what I want you to know: confusion is not permanent, it is just a temporary phase. Okay, the path forward. We will clearly clarify your career path with decision frameworks. We will build you will help you build your profile. We will tackle confidence with proven methods, and we will show you exactly where to apply off campus. You're not lost, you're just at the starting line, and let's move. So we'll look at the 3-path model. So, all right, career confusion, let's solve this. Everyone assumes that one right path: get a job, climb the ladder, and retire. That was something that was probably applicable in the 1990s. In 2026, there are 3 distinct paths, and you can get to choose. Path 1 is for those technical, track for those of you who want to go deep. Be the expert everyone calls, innovate, whether it is mechanical design, embedded systems, or AI and ML. Typically, the skills that is required for this is like domain mastery, understand that domain. You need certain certification, and you obviously need problem solving depth. Typical roles are like principal engineer, solution architect, R&D specialist, and so on and so. The second one is your management track. For those of you who want to lead teams, drive strategy, become VP or CTO, you care about business impact and big picture thinking. And here, one thing I want to clarify: that gone are those days where you think that you have to gain a certain level of experience before you can reach those higher level management level positions. That's gone. Today, if you look around, you will find youngsters sitting at that position. And that is possible when you display skills like leadership, communication, stakeholder management, all these kind of strategic thinking. When you're able to demonstrate these kind of skills, you can pursue the management role. Entrepreneur track. Obviously, today that's being promoted a lot. Make in India, and the youngsters are also very, very ambitious, ready to take risks. And for those of you who want to build something, a startup, a consultancy, a company, a product, you're okay with uncertainty because you want ownership. You don't want to work under anyone. You want to build something and want to own something. For this, the kind of skills that you require are business acumen, sales, networking, resilience. Why? Because when you start something, you're definitely probably going to fail, and you need to have that resilience, that capability to take the learnings and move forward and keep trying. So that's a very important skill that you need if you want to go into the entrepreneur track. And example roles are founders, freelance consultants, technical co-founders, and you learn about so many new startups, right? Here is the key: there is no best path, there's only your path. You have to figure out what you want to do, keep trying, and you don't need to decide today. You can try management, then pivot, move into something else, start a consultant, then join a company. It's your career. You just need to focus on getting clarity and understanding yourself, what you want. Now, here is what makes most students miss: your application strategy changes based on your path. So if we looked at the 3 paths. If you're pursuing the management role, your CV should emphasize those characteristics I mentioned earlier: leadership, teamwork. You have to have a deck, presentation showing strategic thinking. If it is technical role, your CV should demonstrate and emphasize the deep skills, the certifications, build a portfolio. So for example, if you're a software engineer, you've done projects, development projects, put it on GitHub. You may have some CAD models that you have developed. You have research papers. You put it on Behance, and depending on which stream you're in and what kind of technical roles you're pursuing, you will know where you need to be visible. Entrepreneurship, your CV shows outcomes and hustle. Build up. Sorry. Yeah. Can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead. I've muted. Yes.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship, your CV shows outcomes and hustles. So you need to build a pitch deck, your ideas, market research, execution. What is your vision? So if you are looking for, let's say, somebody, investors to invest in your company, it should be very clear, what is your vision and what you want to bring, what impact you're trying to create, what problem you're trying to solve. Obviously, that is the beginning of this, that you need to have some problem where there's no probably a innovative solution that exists. Such kind of people can go in that route. So just look at it. Same degree, same college, different paths, different application processes. Tailor your story to which route and which direction you want to go. So obviously it would involve a little bit of work, but then no pain, no gain. You need to take, but what happens is, at least in our times, we were ready to take the pain, but we didn't have anyone to give us direction, or opportunities also were very less. Okay, so now coming to the decision framework. How do you decide? And here is a framework, 4-lens framework. First lens is interest. What do you enjoy? Not what pays well. What make you lose track of time? So if you are willing to work on something, even if you're not getting paid, or you're so engrossed and you don't mind, you don't eat food, but you lose track of time, you're ready to work on it, that is what you enjoy. That's what is your interest. What are your strengths? What are you naturally good at? Not everyone is a good speaker, not everyone is a good good at coding, not everyone is good at maths. So what are your natural strengths, or your strengths that you're really good at? Analytical mindset, logical mindset, market demand. Where is the opportunity in today's world? Find out where is the opportunity. If I'm like just a technical person, but combined with probably some other skills, I might have more opportunities. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, sustainability, cloud, fintech, all these things are what is currently the buzzword. So where is the market, and how do what you like fit in? Lifestyle, that is the 4th lens. What life do you want? Some people like stability, don't want too much of tensions and pressures, and there should be some confirmed, what's the right word, that you want to know, yes, at the end of the month, this is the salary I'm going to get. Some people want flexibility. Some people want like that adrenaline rush when you do something out of the box. Some people like to travel. So it's each one has got their own likes for the lifestyle. Find the sweet spot where all 4 of these overlap, and that is your path. So spend time. I would really urge all of you, spend time to find out, what is that sweet spot, what do you really want. And remember, clarity comes from action, not overthinking. Pick a direction, try it, keep trying it. If you're not clear, just keep trying it, because when you keep trying it, things will start becoming clear. You must have all heard this phrase, like, practice makes perfect. I believe practice makes progress. So same way, action makes progress. And that's what, try for few months, learn, adjust, repeat. That's what will bring clarity. Okay, so now it's time for us to do a quick poll. And we have what, 29 people in the room. So we would want you all to participate in this poll. So this poll is about which career path resonates with you right now. Whether it's the management track, the technical track, or the entrepreneur track. Anjana, are you there? Can you advance to the next slide, please?
जी मैम.
So you can scan the barcode or you can click on the link that has been shared in the chat window. And if you're not able to access, please do type in the chat window. Hi team, are you able to see if people are able to log in?
Yeah, I do see it. I think it says no active polls at the moment.
Can we start the poll, team?
Started.
Okay.
Okay, let's see it here.
Okay, let's give it a few seconds. I hope all have been, okay, we have like 30 participants, so at least 50% of you minimum should participate in the poll. So maybe now we can see the results. Can you share the results now, Anjana? I think we have given enough time.
Yeah, it is. It is.
We are still seeing your slide. We're not seeing the results. What does it show? How much percentage? Maybe Shashwat, you can let us know what is the percentage?
Yes, ma'am. Just
Okay, we will come back to it once the poll is closed, right? Is the poll closed now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will show you what is the results later. But let's now focus on building the system, on how to the 5-step process where how you can actually build a system, follow the structure, and start building your career. And here we are getting tactical. When I say getting tactical, we are actually going to learn how to start taking action, because just listening to webinars, just listening to all these things is not going to give you results. 70% of you mentioned you wanted off campus guidance, and here is the system. I have taught thousands of hundreds of students 5 steps. Follow this and you will notice, you will automatically get noticed. Instead of you running, the opportunities will start coming to you. The most important thing in today's 2026 is build your digital presence. Your LinkedIn profile, GitHub portfolio, Behance, personal website, whatever is possible that you can put online, please build that. Second is target companies wisely. Research maybe 20 companies you actually want to work for and not random. Be very strategic. Then craft the result based resume. Stop describing task and start proving impact. We will cover this in detail. I'll explain to you what I say that stop describing task. I'll be explaining that to you. And then apply smart. Use referrals. Use niche job boards. Use AI to customize your applications. There's a very powerful tool today. AI is available here. You have to look at how you can take help from it to augment your thinking or augment your process so that you can do much more in less time. Follow up and network. Most students apply and wait. Winners follow up. They message, they network, and they stay visible. Now, I'll tell you, network is your net worth. You never know from where what connection will come up. Like, for example, I haven't been in touch with Monali ma'am or with Vijay. However, it is through Karobi and her networks that we all came, and today we are able to present something and share our learnings with you. So the same applies that when you look at, when you keep in touch with people and when you start sharing your knowledge, you will automatically start seeing opportunities opening up for you. So obviously my philosophy is give first, you will automatically gain. Your focus should not be about, networking is not about finding jobs or selling something to someone. Networking is about sharing how you can contribute. If you start with that approach, you'll really go very long way. These 5 steps, that's your playbook, that's your system. Can you type ready in the chat if you're ready to learn each step in detail? Do we have students? Don't we have students? Thank you, Purva. You are very, very diligent in answering. I want to see response from everyone else also, because this is for you. We don't want you to go through that curve that we all have gone. We want you to get a head start. Thank you. Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you all. So step 1. Okay, let us start with digital presence. So we have seen 5 steps, and how do let's go deep dive into digital presence. In 2026, if you are not online, you don't exist. That's a hard truth, but it's harsh, but it is true. And here is what you need. LinkedIn, your professional homepage. It started off as a community for IT people, but today that's the place HR people go first to look for candidates. You need a professional photo, not a selfie, not a group photo. You smiling and professional. Headline. So please, some of you have seen they put the LinkedIn profile just for the sake of putting, but no photo. You need to have that photo. You need to make yourself visible. Headline, not student at KK. Instead, mechanical engineering student, CAD, FEA, enthusiast, seeking product design roles. You see the difference? Saying that studying at KK, maybe it is known in India, but maybe not outside. And there might be a good position that someone is looking for sitting somewhere else and they're not aware. So that's not. It is about what you want, what are you doing, and what do you bring to the table. About section. In LinkedIn, about section, you have to have minimum 3 lines. Who you are, what you do, and what you're looking for. Skills. Top 10 relevant skills. Get them endorsed by your peers. When I say get them endorsed, try, because when it's all about people, there are so many people out there, so much of competition. When there is an endorsement, it kind of automatically builds the trust in the hiring person. Okay, someone is vouching for him. So try and get those endorsement for the skills. Otherwise, people can put any number of skills, right? and post at least once a week. Be engaged on that LinkedIn platform. Share a project, comment on industry news. And there are many LinkedIn groups that are there specifically for, like, there is a group for, let's say, AI enthusiast in UAE. There is an AI innovation team. There is a mechanical engineering team. There is fresh graduates team. So find what is suitable for you, find whether it is active, join them, and start commenting. Then you become visible. So all the people would be people related to your this. So interaction time. Quick question for the chat. How many of you have updated your LinkedIn profile? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no, and 3 for what is LinkedIn. I really hope I don't see any 3 in the chat window. Only 1? What about the rest? Thank you guys. So good. I mean, I see a lot of ones from whoever has participated. For those of you who have typed 2 and those who have not answered, and if you are falling in the category of 3, this week your homework is LinkedIn setup. We will share a template in the WhatsApp group, which I'll be talking about later. Please do make sure you set up your LinkedIn profile. Portfolio, your proof of work. For CS students, GitHub, with 5 to 7 reports, clean README files, pinned best jobs. For mechanical, civil, Behance and personal sites with CAD models. For electronic circuit diagrams, IoT projects, embedded system designs. That portfolio is what shows the proof. When you claim something, that is the proof that justifies or proves that you have actually done it. Then come target companies. Target companies, as I mentioned earlier, make a list of 20 companies, not 200. Narrow down, even 20 also you can narrow down to 10. When you start small. What do they build? Who are their leaders? Follow them on LinkedIn. What skills do they value? Check their job postings. Do they have openings? Follow these companies on LinkedIn. Engage with their post. Make yourself visible before you apply. Make sense? This is strategic job hunting, not, just spray and then pray that they will find me. This is, please, can you type strategic if this makes sense to you? There are millions of people out there. How do you stand out? How do you make yourself visible? It's by being strategic. And this is what is being strategic, being smart, working smart. Don't go around with 200 targeting 200 companies in one go. And do not do that, the email flash of your CVs to all the companies. Doesn't work today. Nobody looks at it. Resume results. Step 3, resume. This is where 90% of the students fail. And let me show you why. The wrong way to write a resume. Worked on a team project or assisted in designing a component, participated in internship, doesn't tell me anything about what are your skills, what impact you created. So that's not how you have to write your resume. All these things what I've listed are tasks. You have to, and boring and generic. I don't care what you did. I care what results you achieved, what impact you created. So what is the right way? This is the basic formula. Okay. As I mentioned earlier also, when you actually say you reduce the manufacturing cost by 18%, or you fixed a problem, see the difference. You developed an IoT based monitoring system. or deployed, which was deployed in certain labs. These things show that it's actually has produced some results. And the the star method or the star framework that you can use is: what was the context, what is your responsibility, what did you do, and what was the outcome. Quantify it with numbers. And I'll tell you one thing: if you are not able to quantify something with numbers, then it is not a proper goal that you have achieved. Everything you can find some way to quantify, which I have other there is other let's say framework for helping you to identify what it is also there in my book. Every bullet on your resume should show this format, every single one. You don't need to have a long resume, but it should be outcome based. And one more critical thing: so if you see here, you see achieved some results by doing Y and resulted in Z impact. Every time you do something, you have to keep it, should become an autopilot in your head. Whenever you're doing something, am I able to put it into these brackets? Some of you also mentioned about ATS. It's application tracking systems that scan your resume even before the human sees. So when you apply on LinkedIn, you go to a career portal and you apply, and anybody who is following using an automated like recruitment system in the background, this process actually removes or filters out resumes based on certain criteria. So what you need to do is, when you're applying for a position, you use keywords from the job description. Don't use tables of graphics in your CV. Keep it clean, simple, keyword rich. And of course, do not be honest and authentic. Do not put something if you don't have that skill and the job description requires it. No. Use standard section headers like experience, education, skills. These are what helps you go through that first gate, and that first gate is the ATS system. How many of you have heard about ATS before? If you have heard, just type ATS. Otherwise, you can type no. Guys, I want engagement. Okay. Good. Harshad Asma, consistent responses coming from Harshad Asma. Very good. So now here is a 2026 upgrade. A resume alone is not enough anymore, and you need a portfolio. That's something that I already mentioned. And think of it as 4 layers. This is your complete professional presence. Layer 1 is your CV, core CV plus LinkedIn. That's your foundation, which gives the contact info, skills section. Okay. For project portfolio, you have to have like at least a few meaningful projects with title, what it does, your specific role, tech stack or tools used. Upload it to the relevant portals like GitHub, Behance, or personal website, wherever it is digitally present and publicly present. Proof of skills, that is the layer 3. You have to have proof: videos, demos, live links. Show your work, don't just tell, show it. This is huge. It makes a complete difference. And with today, the kind of tools that you have, AI tools that you have, all these things, you can present it very professionally and very beautifully. If you just give the basics, it will help you to present it beautifully and nicely. So if you have a video demo of your IoT project, that will definitely beat any bullet point on your CV. You don't have to even speak, you don't have to do anything. The video will speak for yourself. Okay, it will speak for you. AI as your co-pilot. Refine your CV bullets, write your LinkedIn about section, polish project descriptions, because of course we know you're just starting off. You may not be not know, how to structure, how to describe the impact that you have created or what was the situation. That's where you can actually take the help of AI. And this is critical. The work must be yours. AI helps you to package it better so that you become visible, people are able to understand. It does not create it. So that's something you have to remember very clearly. And so you have to use AI ethically and responsibly. And by the way, if you want a ready-made template, checklists, etc., you can join our WhatsApp group. I will share the link at the end. There's a QR code coming up. Have your phones ready. This portfolio makes you discoverable. When recruiters Google your name, what do they find? Make sure it is impressive. So make sure there is a quality to that. Then steps 4 and 5, apply smart and spot scams. Don't just hit easy apply on LinkedIn and hope here is the winning strategy. It doesn't work. You have to use referrals, message employees at the company. There is a way how you message them, that hi, I'm applying for this role, would you be open to referring me, or 60% referral success versus 2% cold apply. That's the statistics. Use niche job boards like Wellfound, AngelList, Naukri, Indeed. Not just Naukri, but all these others. I think Naukri is quite common, Indeed is quite common, but try to use other job portals also. Follow up, apply Monday, follow up Friday. Just checking if my application was received. And you will know who to ask only when you have done the research on the company and you know the people. Network activity, attend webinars, join communities, engage on LinkedIn. Opportunities come from relationship much faster than just direct application. Red flags, that is critical. How to spot fake job offers. If they ask for money upfront, it's a scam. If the email domain is at Gmail, be careful. Verify it. That's not a scam. If they offer you job without any interview, again, it's something that you should have your antennas up. If your salary seems too good to be true, again, verify, re-verify it. Always verify, check the company website, Google the recruiter's name, ask for current employee references, trust your gut. If something feels off, it is probably. Your instinct will always tell you the right thing. Follow your instincts. Off-campus challenge. All right. Time for our second interactive poll. I think by now you're quite familiar how to look at the poll. Okay, so scan the barcode. Time for our second interactive poll, and this helped me understand your specific challenge. I really hope that you participate so that you can see. I can also see what is it that you find it more challenging. The question is, what is your biggest challenge in applying for off-campus jobs? Don't know where to find legitimate opportunities, resume never gets shortlisted, lack confidence in interview communication, spotting fake offers versus real ones, don't have enough projects experience to showcase. Are you able to see what's coming in, team?
I think it's still showing no active polls. Oh, now it came. Yeah, good.
Yeah, now.
Thank you. Are you guys able to share the results once it is done? Guys, I really need y'all to participate because that's when I'll know what is the pulse here. We are sitting somewhere far away. We won't know what really is going on in your minds, what you really need help with. And we are here to support you, help you. And we want to focus on that. How is it going? Did we, Shashwat and Anjana, can you tell me? Are we getting
Yeah, I
responses?
don't know where to find legitimate opportunities is the highest.
Okay, okay, great. Good. Let's then shift to local versus global opportunities. You want to hear about it? How to find the opportunities? Where to find the opportunities? Let's tackle the big question many of you have. Should I aim for India or global opportunities? And here is the honest reality check. India market is booming. Salaries, our initial search shows that there is an salaries are in the tune of 3 to 8 lakhs for freshers, 12 to 25 lakhs for mid-level. Hot sectors are AI, ML, cloud computing, IoT, green tech, electric vehicles. Hubs, Bombay, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and so on. Competition very high. Millions of engineers graduate every year. So you have to make yourself visible. You have to stand out. And that's why this effort that you will put into making yourself visible, working on your resume, your profiles, your CVs, networking, all these makes a lot of difference. Global market 2026. Salaries are $60,000 to $120,000 USD. That's like 50 lakhs to 1 crore for freshers in US, Europe. Lower but still good in South Asia. This is obviously, I have researched it and found it, but probably people who are really in the US and Europe will be able to say if it's close to the truth. Same hot sectors, same plus remote, work platform, SaaS, deep tech, and so on. Hubs, here's the game changer. Remote work is huge. We are all sitting at different geographies and we are connecting together. So you can work for a Berlin company sitting in Nasik. Competition is skill based. If you're good, geography doesn't matter. It matters very less. Depending, of course, on the type of role, etc. Now, should you go global immediately? Here's my honest advice. Start local, build global readiness. Don't jump into international job hunting without solid fundamentals. Get 1 to 2 years of experience in India, build your skills, build your confidence, prove your competence, collect evidences of what your skills are, and then explore globally. However, if you are ready, your communication skills are good, you have a solid portfolio, you're willing to relocate or work remotely, global is absolutely within your reach. We will show you how to prepare in the next slide. Ready? So global readiness stack, this is a 3-level stack. So if you do want to target global opportunities, this is not to scare you, but that's the reality and that is what you can focus on. Here is what you need, which I called as the global readiness stack. 3 tiers of preparation. First one is foundation, your technical excellence in your domain. This is very branch specific or stream specific. For mechanical engineers, for example, CAD, CAM tools, etc., AutoCAD. For civil engineers, STAAD Pro, ETABS, Revit for BIM, and so on. For electronic engineers, MATLAB, embedded systems, IoT platforms. For computer engineering students, programming language, cloud platforms, databases, AI, ML, and across all branches, industry standard certification for your field. This is just for the filtration purposes. Then bridge, cross-functional skills. These make you globally competitive. English communication, you need to either have TOEFL or IELTS if you're targeting US, UK. Project management basics, Agile and Scrum. data analysis, problem solving mindset, business acumen, understanding what is ROI, cost benefit, market dynamics, culturally adaptable, working with diverse global teams. There's a lot of things that come into picture when you're working with you. There will be a different time zone, there will be different accents, different ways of working. How you work with somebody in Europe won't be the same as when you work with someone in the UAE or in the GCC or with somebody in Australia. Even the way your CV is structured, it changes from country to country. Very simple example. In Australia, if you're applying for a job, the CV should only talk about what are that job role requirements. You may have many other degrees, but if you write that, you will not be selected. You have to just focus on what you bring to the table for that job. But in the UAE, it's completely different. Here, it's all show, pomp, it has to be very flashy and a lot of things. So, when you are applying to a certain country, you also need to research about what works in that country, what works in the organization. All these things matters. Then, of course, the crown, AI and emerging tech. This is what sets you apart in 2026. AI powered design optimization, prompt engineering, data analytics, automation and workflow, understanding AI ethics and governance. And trust me, AI cuts across all streams, all job roles. It cuts across everything. You need to find how it cuts across. So the formula is very simple. Domain expertise plus cross-functional skills plus AI literacy is equal to global ready. You don't need all these three in day one, but start building them systematically. Start researching. Type your branch in the chat if I know, who you all are, like whether you're in mechanical, civil, computer science. Are all of you there, or it's only a specific branch or stream here? Okay, I can see computer science. I think major are computer science people. Okay, so then, okay, whatever I'm talking is so more closely relevant. Speaking of AI, let's talk about how it can 10x your job search effectiveness. Right now, this is 2026. AI is not optional. It is your competitive advantage. And 6 stages where in your job finding place, there are 6 stages where you can use AI: research and planning, resume and profile optimization, analyze my resume for a data analyst role. What is missing? You can ask any of the LLMs that you work with. Write a LinkedIn headline, application strategy, customize this cover letter for Tesla internship program. What does this job description really prioritize? Read between the lines. Sometimes you're not able to really understand, and if you are not able to understand the job description, you can ask AI to explain to you what are they looking for. Interview preparation, this is a very good one if you really use it. Give me 10 behavioral interview questions for a project management role. Help me structure a star story about my capstone project with qualified results. You can upload whatever you have written, you put it, it will help you restructure it into a star story. Star story is the same framework I mentioned to you all earlier. Skill development. Create a 30-day learning plan for mastering Python for data science. Suggest 5 portfolio projects for civil engineering students. There's no civil, at least I have not received anything, but I'm saying any stream can use this. This is like your digital assistant at your fingertips. Networking, most important, what I have mentioned earlier also. Write a LinkedIn connection request to a senior engineer at Siemens. Draft a follow-up email after applying to the startup. Professional but persistent. But here is the critical path. AI is a co-pilot, not autopilot. Don't outsource your work, everything. AI drafts, you need to refine and personalize it. If you have copy pasted it today, hiring managers and all of them will be able to understand that this is AI. AI will suggest you, it will help you structure your thinking process. You verify and adapt accordingly. AI accelerates, you add human authenticity to it. Because you may not know all these things, so you can definitely use it to help you research, to structure, and to fast track your process. But it has to be authentic. That is what is the top of the list. Self-awareness, authenticity, communication is the top of the list for getting hired. Use it smartly. Do not copy paste blindly. As I said, companies can tell, add your authentic voice to it. You don't have to use very high fundu vocabulary, or all those things. It has to be genuine. That's what is. AI is a tool, not a replacement for you. And if you want the complete 6-stage AI assisted job search, detailed prompts, and all that, we will share the link. We have created a book for you that will guide you through this entire process. Just for my curiosity to this, how many of you have used any of the LLMs, ChatGPT, Gemini? You can just type a yes or a no. Not yet. I want responses so that I know how many of you have you used? Okay. Only Arpit. Rest, am I to assume that you haven't used it? Okay, good. Very good, very good. Now before we move into your action plan, I want to share a little bit of my journey, more to tell you that it's okay where you are now. Okay. And what I'm teaching here also to show to you that whatever I have told you in the last 40 minutes, it's not theory, but I have actually lived through that experience. I graduated from KK College of Engineering with electronics engineer, but I pivoted completely into computer science and IT field. From there, I moved on to like QA, QC, implementation, product development. Then I went into consultancy. Early career, I joined 3i Infotech as an ERP consultant. Traveled across Middle East, Africa, led more than 100 plus implementation, made mistakes, learned fast, built confidence, and then I pivoted. Okay, I changed my direction. I moved into data analytics, automation early, before even it became very cool tool. So before people were just reading about it, but I actually moved in. And because I saw that, I read it, I was following the articles and what is going to come, and I moved into it. And then I joined MTN at a global scale. With that knowledge of having pivoted into it, I've managed systems that hold like more than $11 billion, data transformation programs across 20 countries, engaging and having footprints in Europe, USA, Africa, India. I learned to work across cultures, time zones, and high pressure situations. Through COVID, transitioning from in presence to working remotely and delivering these high pressured or very critical projects. So moved to system strategies, led major rollout, built frameworks, and then I reached here. 2024 to now, I founded GBL International, published my book. With my learnings of this journey, it became a bestseller. Today, I am a strategic advisor for AI powered businesses and leadership transformation. And here I am back at KK, giving back to the place where it all started. I'm so glad for this opportunity. Thank you, Karobi, Monali ma'am, KK Wag, and Vijay Agrawal. What do I want you to take from this is one thing. Your starting point does not define your end point. And I think if you have watched that very famous talk by Steve Jobs. He says that you can look back, connect dots only by looking back. So you take your steps, and then when you look back and you will see, oh, I was uncertain there, but I took action and this is the result I've got. So I was uncertain just like you, and I'm sure everybody, all the seniors out in the room will agree. We were all there at some point. Pivots is powerful. Don't be afraid to explore, experiment, and change direction. You don't have to wait so many years also. You can do it depending on how passionate you are and you're ready to take risk when you see the opportunity. Giving back matters. And I'm really very happy to see that the initiative that Vijay Agrawal sir said at the beginning about 15 Nifty, that's really great. And that is giving back. Someone believed in me, now I believe in you. And when you succeed, come back and help the next batch. The same batch. If you find opportunities that don't suit you, go and give it, or you learn something, share it with the team. Communication skills. Let's address something directly. 60% of you said you lack communication skills. I saw that in the survey. I hear the anxiety in your voices. First, let me validate that feeling. Then let me challenge it. Here is the truth. Communication is a skill, not a talent, a skill, which means you can learn it, practice it, master it. Just like you learned, your C++ or your programming languages or your CAD or your calculus. 3 practical steps. Start this week. That's the 3 practical steps. 1, practice your English daily. Watch YouTube videos in English. Summarize them out loud to yourself. Read. Join English speaking WhatsApp groups or Toastmasters Club. Or there are so many apps out there today. AI powered apps where you can practice every day, like for 15 minutes, and it will help you. So you use those things. Talk to ChatGPT. If you haven't installed the ChatGPT app in your phone, please install it, because I talk to it every day. It is my closest friend. Talk to it in voice mode, practice conversations, and use the STAR framework. Third, record yourself. It's an uncomfortable, yes, you will find it very uncomfortable when you start, but that's the point. Record yourself, answer common interview questions, watch, improve, repeat. Practice, 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 and you will progress. Confidence comes from repetition. The more you practice, the less scary it becomes. You're not bad at communication, you're just inexperienced, and that changes with action. So even if you're making mistakes, practice. It will. So are you committing to practicing daily? Can you type yes in the chat? At least one of you who feels the value, understand the value, please commit that you will try this. There are a lot of apps that are out there, and use ChatGPT. All these apps will help you. Your competitive advantage. Let's talk about your competitive advantage. I have compared not only the survey from KK but we also took a survey from other streams, global students. And here is what the data shows. It shows that, global students, 92%, you are in terms of technical skill gap. It's almost the same. What was something really insightful for me was community engagement. That is your superpower, because that's 94% of the people who responded. Okay, they said that you value community and peer learning, and trust me, that's the way you can learn from others' mistake, learn from sharing, learn from giving. Collaboration is the mantra. So you value support systems, and so your mindset is in the right direction, and use this as your strength. Average concerns per student, obviously you feel more anxious. You listed more worries as compared to the global survey that we took. And again, our sample size was 50 here and around 60 to 70 there. Okay. So that does not really mean that's the reality on the ground, but we kind of had global students from US, Australia, London, UAE, India in that second batch. So, what this means is that you are aware of what you need to improve. So, you're thoughtful, you are not overconfident or naive. That self awareness is actually an asset. Bottom line, you have good, strong technical skills, you have community mindset, you work on communication, which we'll be helping with you today. You're closer to being global ready than you think. What was your biggest takeaway from this comparison in the chart? Any one word or phrase that you want to put in? Everybody is welcome to answer. You feel more confident, you feel overwhelmed, you're surprised. What is it? Anyway, I can't really wait for you all. I'm just going to move on. Confidence. Well, let's talk about confidence. Okay, you're feeling more confident. Very good. Let's talk about confidence, because I hear about this constantly. I'm not confident in interviews. I freeze, I fumble. Here's what you need to understand: confidence is not something you're born with, it is a skill you build through structure and practice. And the tool, the STAR framework. Again, you see, I have reference to STAR framework at many places. And let me show you how exactly we can use it. Okay, I've been talking about STAR framework. S is situation. Set the context clearly. During my third year capstone project on renewable energy systems, or this particular project, this is what happened. Task, explain your responsibility. I was responsible for ABC, designing the solar panel, mounting systems, optimizing the agile angle for maximum efficiency. If you won't get it now, take the help of AI. It will help you reframe your thing, but also help you think. Action, describe what you specifically did. I researched 3 design approaches, ran simulations, programmed so and so. Results, quantify the outcome with numbers. The system increased the energy capture by 28%, or it reduced the timelines by X percentage. It won the second prize inter-school exhibition. And see how you structured and impressive that sounds. You're not just blabbering away or rambling away. You're telling a story with evidence right from the beginning, and that's something you have to master it, practices, and it will come. So for to build your confidence, what can you do? Write down 5-star stories from your college, your projects, your internship this week. Record yourself delivering these stories. Watch, cringe, improve. Practice with a friend or use AI mock interview tools. Join groups where you can practice with your friends, English speaking groups, Toastmasters. Small, consistent action. That's how you build unshakable confidence. It is not magic, it is just a method. Do you think everybody who speaks out there have the best of English, best of grammar, best of vocabulary? No. But what they say, it's clear communication in a very structured manner. Use this framework and it will be structured. Your 7-day action plan. All right. So we have covered a lot. Time for action. And again, I'll say no pain without gain. No gain without pain. You have to do your work. You have to take, but here we are giving you the guidance. We're giving all the tools. You just need to start taking action. Knowledge is power, but knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is your 7-day action plan. I want you to start tomorrow, not next week, not after exam, tomorrow. One small step, at least if you come and open that file, download the file, open it, every day make small incremental steps. And as James Clear, I don't know how many of you have read the Atomic Habits, he says that if you make 1% progress in a day, in a year, you would have made in a compounded way 33% progress. In 365 days, you would have made 33% progress. So small steps, it's a journey. If you do it, you'll start it. Keep just showing up for yourself. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, all the steps are given. When you can scan the barcode to download that particular document. How many of you are committing to start tomorrow? Put day 1 in the chat if you are committing to start. See, when you type it in here, what you are doing is you are setting the intent in your brain and telling yourself, yes, I am promising myself I am going to become diligent and I'm going to start tomorrow. Harshad Pawar, very good. The first step in any action is first acknowledging it to yourself that I'm going to, setting that intent. So, very good, Purva. Very good, Radhika. Very good. And I hope, can you say if you are able to scan and download the template? If not, I think the team will be putting the link in the chat window also. You can copy this and download it.
Yeah, the QR is working, Geeta.
Working?
I tried.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And now, as I mentioned, from the statistics, from the survey, what really surprised us was that 94% of you said you value community and peer learning. So let's build the community right here. I've created a WhatsApp group of students. Inside this group, you will get job, opportunity, directions, some directions on assistance or guidance on how to review your resumes, weekly tips and resources, peer accountability, small group accountability, tracking whether we will have these challenges that we put out, and if you're part of that group, you can follow that helps you. Accountability is something that really keeps you moving, because sometimes you might go low, sometimes you might not have that motivation to move forward, but the accountability partner will come here and push you. So you find your accountability partner who will push each other to make those small steps that help you progress further. So scan the QR code and put it, and I hope you'll be able to download that. Okay. So this is to join the community, and then also we have put together a 30-day challenge. This 30-day challenge is your career transformation challenge. 7-day was more for your communication, your digital visibility. This is a transformation challenge. And here is how it works. Week 1 is your foundation. Week 2 is application, applying to 20 companies. Week 3 is online certification, build new project, add that to your portfolio. Week 4 is networking. And once you've done this, diligently done this 30-day challenge, you will see the results. And if you have completed this 30-day diligently, I will personally, my team will help you review your LinkedIn profile and give you feedback. So tag me in the group, the community that we have created for progress and final profile link. Download the full career blueprint. This blueprint is with all the AI prompts at least the initial prompts, you can fine tune them for every stage of this process. How you can, it is inclusive of everything, ready made, given to in a plate, but you need to take action. And we have when for those of you join the group, we will be sharing a very exhaustive tracker where you can actually update or track your progress of what you have done in this 30 days. Can you type challenge accepted if you're committing to this 30-day journey? Accepted. CA, can you type CA in the chat if you're willing to join this 30-day challenge? Very good. So very good, very good. Before we open for QA, I want to leave you with one principle that changed my entire career. Make yourself uncomfortable. Growth is inevitable. I have several communities, and this is the principle that is followed in those communities. If you don't know something and you're trying to do it, obviously you are not going to have the confidence, you are uncomfortable. But when you take that first step, that means you're growing. If you sit in your comfort zone and do it, then you are not making progress. So what this practically means for you is update your LinkedIn profile today. Even if writing about yourself feels awkward, apply to 5 companies you think you're out of league. You think that no, I don't fit into their league. Apply to them. You belong there more than you think. Record yourself answering interview questions. You will find it uncomfortable, but that's exactly the point. The discomfort is growth happening. The 7-day action plan, that is your discomfort roadmap. The WhatsApp group, that is your support system. We will do this together. And results don't come from comfort zones. They come from taking the first uncomfortable step. I know many of you are uncomfortable answering into the chat window also. So that is your first step, is answering yes or no. And that's it. Let's go. Your future starts here now. I'm ready for any Q&A, any questions if you may have.
Thanks, Geeta. I think you guys can unmute yourself and ask questions. I think you can even ask in Hindi or any language.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Nasik product, so you can ask in Marathi also, but I'll answer in, I've lost touch practice, so I'll answer in English. I can understand. Probably either it was too very clear, I hope it was not too overwhelming.
No, I think, Geeta, this was very good, very practical tips. One of the best sessions I think we have done. A lot of hands-on practical tips. I'm sure students would gain a lot of knowledge, and students who have joined your WhatsApp, I'm sure they'll continue to connect with you and get more knowledge.
Cool. So if there are no questions, I think we can conclude the session. Thank you again, once again. And I think, yes, let's continue this journey of giving back, empowering the next generation.
Absolutely. Monali ma'am, are you still there? I don't know if your power is there. Let me see. Don't see her online, so maybe her power is out. But yeah, again, thanks everyone. I will talk to Monali ma'am for any feedback and continued sessions. Once again, thanks Geeta, your team, and especially Karobi to allow us and connect us. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, and thanks to Shashwat and Anjana, they've been in the background, but big support to. They are like you guys, by the way. They're starting their journey, but they actually participated, contributed a lot, and made this session, whatever it has been, it's with their help. So thank you, Shashwat and Anjana also. And of course, without Karobi, the session wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Have
Thank
a
you. Bye-bye.
good
Thank
rest of
you.
the weekend. I'll send the recordings. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.